Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel. My name is Jerry. We are on Lawfolds. This is episode number 40. And one thing that I failed to mention in episode number 39, which you guys just watched on Wednesday, is the fact that we are in year 2. We were officially 39, episode 39, kicked off the very first day of early spring again, and so we went all the way through 12 game days, 4 seasons, 38 episodes, and something like that, and we are in year 2. So one of the things that we had been talking about as far as what we would do as far as this year is concerned versus what we did last year and everything, one of the things that obviously I wanted to do was capitalize on our good fortune and the fact that we have $770,000 and some change, and we owe the bank nothing. We owe nobody anything at all except what we pay the occasional hired worker for and such. And so to start this episode off, we are going to go ahead and purchase this field. So boom, there goes $276,000. This is field number 3, and it is already planted in wheat. It's been seeded, but it needs plowing, so we will come along at some stage and essentially plow this field and then replant it, because obviously because this is the first game day of spring, we're somewhat limited in what we can plant or what we should plant. Our soil temperatures are still a bit low for pretty much everything that we would want to plant, for the exception of maybe grass, but we'll just have to kind of see. But we're not going to plant anything today. We're hoping that if we take a look at our weather forecast here, tomorrow temperatures will improve, and so we'll probably start our planting on the second day of spring, very similar to what we did with Pineco Farm. You might remember that I didn't even actually bring you guys into the gameplay until parking break, until the second day of spring. Now, some updated information for you all, and you know that I try my best to relay information from the Seasons modding team to you guys. You know that I put these 2 bales out here at the beginning, just before winter time. One is straw and one is hay, and in the hopes that I could demonstrate, sort of sacrificing 2 bales, if you will, demonstrate the fact that they should disappear if they get wet. Now, I learned something, and my apologies that I did not know this in advance, but I didn't, so there we go. But what I learned was that basically, if you don't play the map with a snow mask, and I've talked about snow masks before, and the fact that with a snow mask, it basically prevents snow from accumulating inside your barns and inside areas where it shouldn't snow because it's covered. But without a snow mask, basically the Seasons mod thinks everything is undercover, even though it's not. It's to try to, I guess, prevent things from unnecessarily disappearing. And so I did go ahead. One of our viewers actually had contacted me several weeks ago and offered to create a snow mask for Lawfolds. I really didn't know much about it. I'm a little, well, I'll just put it this way. I'm scared of Giants Editor. That's the first thing I will admit. And the next thing that I will admit is that I was a little nervous about inserting something into the map, changing the map with the Seasons mod and everything, because I really hadn't seen any conversation or any dialogue about snow masks previous to that. And of course, I did see some discussion. I know Reefy1952 has actually Mike has created some snow masks for some of the maps that he plays. So anyway, I went ahead and decided to install the snow mask that was created for Lawfolds. So we now have that installed. So I'm going to leave those bells out there. We'll see if we get any rain and see if the rain will make them disappear. If not, I'll leave them out there until the next winter, and then we can see what happens to it at that particular point in time. So so that's the deal with the snow mask. Let's see, what else did I want to share with you as far as updates on the Seasons mod is concerned? Oh, I know that a couple of my viewers asked some questions because, as I've said before, the mod team that basically creates the Seasons mod. And I'm gonna park here, and I'm gonna go out and check this field here, just to kind of see how we're progressing. I believe this is our barley, 42% and growing, so that is good. I was a little worried about that over the winter. And then we also have, I think this is supposed to be, I think this is actually supposed to be canola, maybe. And I'm kind of surprised that we don't see anything popping up, but let's see. It's wheat, and it's been seeded. So hopefully this will start growing soon. I think we planted that, well, I know we planted it within the window when we could plant those sorts of things, but we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that and see how that goes, because that is obviously our wheat crop there. And so if for whatever reason, if it doesn't start growing, then we'll have to maybe cultivate it and reseed it or something. And I think this other field up here is our canola field. Anyhow, I know I planted a canola. I know I planted a canola. Let's see, what did I plant? Let me pull up the map here. Yeah, 31 I believe is canola, so that's right up here. I planted a winter canola, winter wheat, and a winter barley just to test things out. So anyway, I know a couple of you guys that watch the channel asked, and again, I think I was talking about this and I lost my track of thought, but I know that the Seasons mod team watches our videos. They watch my channel, and they watch all the others that are doing the that are basically showcasing the Seasons mod, and they will answer questions from viewers or basically comment if we have a specific question. And so you might remember in the episode where I identified that the hay bale and the straw bale was still visible outside, you know, they commented and said this is the reason why, and so helped me out with that. Well, a couple of the viewers had asked about when the Seasons mod was going to come available, and you know, basically what I've been telling everyone is you know, what we know, and that is that it'll be ready when it's ready, and that's, you know, really all that the Seasons mod will, or all that the Seasons mod team will really comment on, because obviously they're still developing it, they're still doing some tweaks and making some changes to it, and still discovering, you know, the occasional bug or so. And if you watch my Pine Cove Farm series, you know that I think it was in episode number 12 or 13 on Pine Cove, I noticed that our soybean crop, which was the big field that's right across the highway from, or the street from the main farm, was basically it vanished. I mean, if you look at it on the map, as I get a drink of iced tea, sorry about that. If you look at it on the map, it basically shows that it is that it essentially has been harvested, and we have not harvested anything other than we did harvest the cornfield that is basically for the BGA. So that's the only thing that we've harvested. That's the only crop. So I reported that to the modding team, the Seasons modding team, and they sort of went to work on trying to understand what caused the problem. They think they might know, and so, you know, so those are things that are getting reported. I think it's the hope. It's the hope and the desire of the Seasons modding team that basically to try to nail down, hammer out all of the possible bugs and issues and such with the Seasons mod before it's released to the general public, before everyone has access to it. Because the thing about it is this is, I've said this and I will say this many times, and I believe that some of my YouTube friends who are basically using the Seasons mod will also back me up on this when I say that this is a game changer. This is something that really does change the gameplay, the style of play. And I think, as I've talked about many times, and I don't want to continue to just continue beating the proverbial dead horse, but it does change things enough that if you don't read all the documentation, if you don't read all the instructions, if you haven't watched my channel and channels like Landed Kid and Simulate and Reefy1952, etc., and if you haven't been following along, and if you haven't been listening to what we've been saying as far as how it affects the gameplay, and the fact that your animals consume more water in the summertime and the sheep stop producing wool in the wintertime, etc., then that's going to drive a whole lot of questions. And so I think that the modding team are really trying to release a quality mod that doesn't require a lot of support from a bug perspective, that's not going to break people's save games, that's not going to cause people a lot of frustration and everything, and that way you can concentrate on all the things that you need to know as far as how the mod changes the base game. So I think that's the desire of the team, and I 150% support that initiative, that endeavor. I think it's great, and I know it's rich for me to say that because I have access to the Seasons mod. But the thing about it is it's just like with cattle and crops, folks. It'll be ready when it's ready, and people saying that I really want to get my hands on that mod, or I really want to help test or whatever, it's not going to make it come any quicker. It'll come when it comes, and that's all that we can really say about that. So just continue to be patient, folks. They've made wonderful progress and continue to make progress. And as Mike Reefy1952 stated today, and by the way, today, this is Monday the 27th of March, I didn't get a chance to record all my videos that I wanted to do on Sunday, so I do have a little bit of time Monday evening that I'm trying to knock out at least one, and that will get me on track for what I need to do to be able to keep videos coming to you. But Mike responded to a post on one of my videos today and basically said that, since he's met the modding team that's responsible for the Seasons mod, he basically realizes that this is probably the very best modding team that he has discovered as far as how they support their mod. And I would have to agree with him 1,000% on that, because I have seen, I have asked questions, I have received help from them, and I've needed their help for different things, and just what they have shown, the dedication that they have shown to me, I'm in a full agreement that they're probably one of the best at supporting their mod. And so that's gonna basically prove beneficial to each and every one of you that is hoping to be able to get access to it and use it on your virtual farm. So just continue to hang in there, bear with the team, and they will get it to you just as quickly as they believe that it's available. So I do hope everyone is having a wonderful day and wonderful week. Let's see, I believe you're watching this episode on Friday, so TGIF, I'm pretty sure that it's going to be on Friday. Doughboy, if I've got my days mixed up, please forgive me, but I think it is going to be on Friday. So TGIF and all that good stuff. So thank you all so much for watching, and I tell you what, I am so just so tickled with how the channel has grown, with how, I mean, we are, as I'm recording this, most likely before you see it, we may even be over 500 subscribers. But as I'm recording this episode, I think we're at like 487 or 490, something like that, and we've been averaging a good amount of subscribers each day, each week, and I'm just very appreciative of that. Welcome. If you are new to the channel, welcome. I hope I greet you with a firm handshake, and I appreciate you subscribing and coming in and checking out my videos on a regular basis. So, you know, I want to kind of talk to you all about something that I don't find very easy to talk about. And let me just kind of give you a little bit of history about myself. I have been working since I was about 14 years old. I went and got a job on my now I've been working probably a lot longer than that, but if I count mowing yards and stuff for like my parents or my grandparents, things like that, you know, I've started working and started earning money a lot earlier than say 14 or 15. But at about 14 or 15 years of age, I decided I was going to go and get a job at a convenience store, and got a job at a convenience store in the little town that I grew up in Texas, and started earning $2 an hour. And this was back in probably the very early 80s, about 80 or 81 probably. The minimum wage was a little bit more than $2 an hour, but the way that the owner of the store basically said to me, he's like, look, I'll give you a choice. He says, I'll either pay you, you know, straight $2 an hour for every hour that you work, or I'll pay you minimum wage, and you know, you can basically, I'll have to take taxes out and all that good stuff. Well, trust me, I was a pretty smart feller back then. I don't know really what happened since then, but at that particular point in time, I was pretty smart, and I said, well, I'll take the $2 an hour, because I figured that was going to be my best bet at that particular point in time, and it was. Because, I mean, 14, 15-year-old kid, I didn't need to be paying taxes. And I don't know the legalities of all of that. And of course, I'm not going to tell you where it was that I worked. I don't even think this place existed back then. But it was just the way that it was. And I worked hard. I earned every, you know, dollar that I earned. And within pretty quick fashion, I had worked my way up to earning a little bit more than $2 an hour. And at one particular point in time, I think I was a little bit older. Maybe I was about 16 at this point, where basically he said to me, he's like, okay, I'm going to need to start, you know, taking taxes out, because you're essentially old enough that we just need to do that. And so he did it, and all is good. What I'm going to say is that from the very early age of 14 years old, and that was when I had my first job, until now, in recent time, and I'm 50 now, I will be 51 later this year, I have never, ever, not once, asked for a raise. I have never went into my boss's office and said, boss, I need a raise. It's just not how I was raised. It's not that I'm naive. It's not that I let people walk over me or anything like that. I've been very, very blessed. I'm blessed each and every day of my life that I have the career that I have, and I have my family, and I have my beautiful wife, and my wonderful friends, and all of you folks that are my friends, because if you watch my channel, I consider you all very, very good, close friends. And I've met so many wonderful people through my YouTube channel and my YouTube efforts and stuff like that, and I'm just very, very grateful for all of you. But I wanted to say that because what I'm going to say next is it kind of coincides with that, and I think that you'll understand that probably one of the toughest things that I decided to do as far as this YouTube channel was concerned was to monetize it, only because I do believe that, I don't really have a whole lot of cost with this. I would like maybe to upgrade some equipment at some point in time, or at least have something to stuff away to say that if if something dies, if my hard drive dies or whatever, that I can go out and purchase a new hard drive, and essentially the channel makes that happen. And of course I have reinvested. I haven't actually, let me just also state for the record that I have not made a dime from this channel as of yet. I will just openly and tell you that when you sign up for Google AdSense or Google revenue through YouTube, you basically have to earn $100 in revenue before they basically cut you a check. And I have not done that. The channel has not produced that amount of revenue in order to do that, and it will take some time before I reach $100 in Google revenue. And so, but obviously I have done 2 giveaways. I did a giveaway for FarmSim 17 at 100 subscribers, and I did one a month or so later. I think it was around 200 or 250 subscribers. And so I am still serious about wanting to basically put everything that I would earn back into the channel 100%. I'm not looking at profiting from it, but if there's, if it has the opportunity to replace something, if it breaks, or if there's something, a new game that I'm sort of interested in. Obviously I've already crowdfunded Cattle and Crops, but if there's DLC, stuff like that I can purchase, that I can say to my wife that my little hobby that I go down some evenings in the basement and I spend an hour or so playing a game and doing the video editing and stuff like that. If I can say to her, hey, by the way, I was able to buy this new DLC pack or whatever, and it didn't cost me anything because it's sort of self-supporting. So anyway, I've never asked for a raise in my life, and monetizing this channel was probably one of the most difficult things for me to decide to do, because I don't like asking people to send money or give money or anything like that. And no, that's not where this conversation is going to go. I'm never going to ask you to donate any money or sponsor me, or I'm not interested in doing like the Patreon thing where you go out and subscribe and basically commit to sponsoring me for $1 a month or $5 a month or whatever. I'm just not interested in that, because I really don't want any of you to have to reach into your pocketbook, into your wallet, and spend your hard-earned money. Having said that, obviously monetizing the channel, you occasionally have to see an ad. That helps me. Of course, it's helping YouTube and Google out considerably, but it's not costing you anything extra. And let's face it, we all see advertising pretty much on a daily basis. So here's the deal. I was contacted by a company called Gawkbox, Gawkbox. And what Gawkbox is, and I will post a link in the comment section or in the notes section for this video, which you'll see down below the video screen with a link. And if you so desire, you can click on that link and go to my profile page on Gawkbox. Now, what this is right now it is mostly mobile apps, mobile things that you might be interested in, you might not be interested in. It doesn't cost you a penny, it doesn't cost you anything at all. If you click on it and you see something that might interest you, or there's like a click and watch this commercial and I will receive a tip, meaning Grizzly Bear Sims. So essentially you go out there, you might choose to watch a commercial, and the Gawkbox people would pay me a tip. Okay, might be 50 cents, might be $1 or whatever for you watching that commercial. Now the same thing might apply for like a game, for example. I think I saw that there was like a Dirty Birds game You go out there, you install the Dirty Birds game on your mobile device, on your smartphone or your tablet or whatever, and if you reach like level 3, essentially I will receive a tip of $1.50. I noticed that there was an app that you could download for coupons or something, and if you downloaded that app, I would receive $1.50. Okay, so this is going to be a trial basis and a trial basis only for now. If I start hearing reports that they're showing or that they putting content out there that I think is questionable, objectionable, or doesn't fit my rated G type scheme, and I'm very serious about this, by the way. I want to always run a rated G channel because I have had, because A, that's who I am, and B, so many of you have taken the time to contact me and say, Jerry, thank you. Thank you for being committed to running a rated G channel so that I don't have to worry about my children, my grandchildren, or whatever. We love watching your farm videos, and we don't want to have to worry about, I don't want to have to worry about, you know, the F-bomb or me saying this or me saying that, or talking about politics or talking about, whatever. I try to stick to either my life or what we're doing here in the game. So if it interests you, if it's something that you want to do, then please do it. It doesn't cost you anything. You're basically spending someone else's money is what you're doing, because obviously the Gawkbox people, they are selling, they're selling ads, if you will, to these people like the Dirty Birds game company, or this particular app that I saw that you could download and I would earn like $1.50 for you just simply installing it. That's all you got to do, and I would earn $1.50 for that. Obviously they're selling this to these people, saying, we're basically going to have people marketing your products on their channels, and all it is an advertising scheme. But I promise you, if for whatever reason, and I will be monitoring this, and I will be listening to your feedback, and if anyone tells me that they're seeing content out there that's questionable or whatever, I will basically stop. But if you're so interested, check it out. Click the link down below the video. You'll see it goes to my profile at gawkbox.com, profile Grizzly Bear Sims. Take a look. If there's something there that you're interested in, then do it. If not, no big deal, no hard feelings. We're all is good. Okay, so I got that out of the way. And before I leave this subject, I may mention it a few times on a video here or there. I'm not going to bombard you with it or anything like that, just because I don't believe in basically panhandling or anything like that. You guys are all, adults or responsible people, and you'll, if you're interested, you're interested. If not, you're not, and that's where we'll leave it. So we are coming up on our magic half hour. I did want to just go ahead and say, hopefully you're all still with me watching as we plow this field number 29. We needed to get this done because we failed to get it all plowed and everything before winter, and so we want to do this before we get around to getting into our planting season in earnest. But so that's what we're doing. But I am going to be, I basically installed I talked about this in a previous episode. I talked about what is it called? The Hagenstadt Bank of Hagenstadt. And so I'm going to play around with this, and you guys are going to see how this works out. But I'm thinking about leasing field number 9, because with the Bank of Hagenstadt, you can sell and you can buy fields. Okay, so obviously we've just purchased field number 3. I wanted to purchase that outright because I felt that was in our best interest to do that. But I'm thinking about leasing field number 9 and plant corn in that field for the BGA, and do the BGA on this map. And I will may also purchase or maybe lease another field as another grass and hay meadow Probably will lease field number 4. That's right behind our dairy farm there. Lease that and plant that in grass, so that we've got another grass field. Because we should be able to get at least 2 mowings, maybe more. And I can't remember how many times we mowed last year, but I'm thinking we'll at least get 2. And as I'm just going to go ahead and plow this field and finish saying what I wanted to say, and then I'll end the video. But I think we should at least be able to get 2 mowings off that, and that will help with building up our stockpile of hay and grass and everything to get our animals going. Plus also we can sell wrapped silage as well. So that's probably what the game plan will be. Now, as far as the equipment to handle the necessary things that we need to do with the BGA, most likely I will either lease that, or the BGA will provide it. So in other words, we'll be doing a service for the BGA, and they will essentially fund the cost of that equipment. But in any event, that's some of the things that I'm kind of looking at doing, just to kind of mix this particular game year up. And I really do think that most likely that once we reach the winter time frame, then we will most likely end the series on Lawfolds. I think that that will probably, I mean, right now we're at episode 40. This is episode 40. I could imagine that another 10 or 15 or so episodes, and you guys will probably have seen everything that I'm capable of more or less showing you on this map, and by then you may be bored and I may be bored with it as well. We'll just kind of see how things go, as I keep putting the plow down just a little bit too early, but we'll just kind of see how things go. And I don't suspect that I'll be running Pine Cove Farm more than 1 year in and of itself, just because there's a few other maps that I would rather play, but I also don't want to update Pine Cove Farm to the latest and greatest version and start all over. So we most likely will play out the rest of this year on Pine Cove, and then maybe after winter time, then we will end that and do something else. So, and maybe even by then, who knows, maybe the early access version of Cattle and Crops will be available. So anyway, I will just take the opportunity now to say thank you so much for watching. I really truly appreciate all of you. I appreciate your friendships. I appreciate you guys commenting and just checking in with me on PCSG or on the 3 Dudes Gaming Network like you guys do. You're an incredible bunch of people, and I really enjoy the farm sim game, and it's taking my mind off some things that I've kind of got going on right now in my life that I'm not really ready to talk about openly right now. But I just want you to know that it's really truly it's some medicine. It's medicine to me, helping me through a little bit of a stressful situation that's kind of going on right now. And so I just appreciate you guys watching, because as long as you're watching, then I know that my efforts as far as the time that I spend in producing these videos and whatnot is being beneficial and helpful and that sort of thing. So I do appreciate it so much. So I will stop because I am rambling, and I think I'm just going to say bye-bye. So thank you again for watching so much. I appreciate it, and thank you, and God bless you all. Bye-bye.